Hello everybody. Today I can write the equation of a series explicitly using Sn equals a1 minus a1r to the n over 1 minus r. The good news is you do not have to memorize this. It is given to you in your reference sheet. If you're learning remotely, you have it written down. Take a picture of it, write it down somewhere. It's in the front of your packet. It is given to you. What is a series? A series is the sum of a sequence. Series is the sum of a sequence. So let's say I had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is a sequence. A sequence is a pattern of numbers. If I had 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10, if I'm adding the terms of the sequence, that's what a series is. Series is the sum of a sequence. Series, I'm adding the terms of the sequence together. That's what a series is. Sequence is just a pattern of numbers. Series is where you're adding the numbers in the sequence together, which is why it's a different formula. We're going to only be doing geometric series. This is the formula for geometric series. We are not going to be talking about arithmetic series. Geometric series are actually easier, so that works out better. Write an explicit equation to find the sum of the first n terms of the sequence, blah, 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 blah. Use your formula to find the sum of the first 10 terms. So one thing at a time. What's my pattern? This one's a pretty obvious one. The pattern is multiplying by 2. Again, if you don't see that pattern, and again, if I'm telling you that it's geometric, you could always just do a2 divided by a1. 6 divided by 3, a3 divided by a2, 12 divided by 6, 24 divided by 12. They're all dividing to 2, which makes the common ratio 2. So my common ratio is 2. My a1 is 3. Basically the same piece of information that I needed to write the sequence formula. But now I'm going to use the Sn formula for series for the sum instead of the sequence formula. An is for sequence, Sn is for series. Again, series is the sum of a sequence. So Sn equals a1 is 3 minus 3, r is 2 to the power of n over 1 minus 2. R comes up twice. The only thing I can combine is the bottom. That's it. You can't do 3 minus 3. You can't subtract the 3 and the 3 because the 3 is connected to the 2 and the 2 is connected to the n. I can't multiply the 3 and the 2 because the 2 is connected to the n. Basically, I can't do anything. I'm just substituting in. The only thing I can do is the bottom. Now that I have that, if I want to find the sum of the first 10 terms, that's n. So now I can do s of 10 equals 3 minus 3 times 2 to the power of 10 over negative 1. Alpha y equals, enter, 3 minus 3 times 2 to the power of 10 over negative 1, 3069. And that's it. This is not a difficult lesson. It's a really straightforward lesson. When you're finding the sum of a sequence, or if it says series, we're using the explicit formula, which is given to you. We find r the same way we would in a sequence. We find a1 the same way we would in a sequence, and we substitute the values in. And then if I want to find the sum of the first whatever amount of terms, I'm substituting that value in for n, just like I did with my explicit sequence. Number 2, write an explicit equation to find the sum of the first n terms of the series. So it's the same thing, I'm just giving to you with pluses now. But look at these as separate terms. The pattern 3, 5, 15, 375. You're not adding anything together. You're just recognizing that it's the sum of a sequence, which means it's a series. So I'm going to be using my SN formula, which is A1 minus A1 R to the N over 1 minus R. Take a few seconds, decide what you think R is going to be in this example. R is 5 because I'm multiplying by 5 to get from 3 to 15 times 5 times 5. A1 is 3. Why don't you take a few seconds and substitute those values in to come up with your explicit equation? I'll just sit here. It should take about 15 seconds. Okay. Sn equals 3 minus 3 times 5 to the power of n over 1 minus 5. The only thing I can do is my bottom. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. That's my equation. Now it wants me to use my formula to find the sum of the first 8 terms. So you're going to replace n with 8. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to try and do that on your own. Okay, S of 8 equals 3 minus 3 times 5 to the power of 8 over negative 4. S of 8 equals alpha y equals enter 3 minus 3 5 power 8 over negative 4 292968. That's it. All right, you write your formula, which is given to you. You don't have to memorize it. R is the common ratio. You can divide the A2 by A1, or you can just look at it and figure it out mentally. Once you have those values, you just sub them into this formula. And once you have that equation, to find the sum of whatever amount of terms, you can just replace n with whatever amount of terms you're finding and pop it into the calculator. Number 3, it wants an explicit equation for the sum. Sn equals A1 minus A1 R to the n over 1 minus R. We need A1 and we need R. I'm going to give you about 15 seconds to come up with those values on your own. A1 is 4. R, I am multiplying by negative 3. You can do that mentally. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12 times negative 3 is 36. Or we can just do A2 divided by A1. Negative 12 divided by 4. A3 divided by A2. 36 divided by negative 12. A4 divided by A3. You see you come up with negative 3. Now that you have this information, I want you to pause. I want you to substitute the values in and come up with your equation. And then unpause. Okay, now that you tried it on your own, Sn equals 4 minus 4 times negative 3 to the power of n over 1 minus negative 3. Sn, I can't do anything on top. 1 minus negative 3 is 1 plus 3. which is 4. That's my equation. Now, I want you to find the sum of the first 12 terms. So you're going to replace n with 12. So please pause, answer that follow-up question, and then unpause. Okay, now that you've found the sum of the first 12 terms on your own, I will go over it. I'm doing S of 12 because it wants the sum of the first 12 terms. Alpha y equals enter, 4 minus 4 times negative 3 to the power of 12 over 4, negative 531, 440. That's it. Is there anything more I want to go over with you? No? I guess the only thing I want to talk about quick, if this is scary, again, to find the common ratio, it's A2 divided by A1. So you would do a fraction within a fraction. 1/2 divided by 1/4. You could do A3 divided by A2, 1 over 1/2. A4 divided by A3, 2 divided by 1. You see they're all coming out to 2. So if there's fractions involved and they look a little bit scary, then it might be easiest to just use the common ratio formula, which is A2 over A1. Your classwork/homework is going to be to finish this. Again, to write the sum of a sequence or the series. Series is Sn. This formula is on your reference sheet. It's given to you. This is the explicit way to write it. 90% of the time you're going to be using this way. And in another lesson coming up shortly, we're going to talk about a different way to write it. Your classwork/homework is to finish this, and I hope everybody has a great day.